What if I told you you could increase your chances of business success by 125%? We're still in the pre-work chapters, folks, meaning we're working on ways to practice, build, or prepare for business long before you start it. It could be a couple of years. Right now, most of you are working in a normal job. Recently interviewed Zoe. She started in normal jobs, and it led to a successful company with over 100 employees. This immersion of things can be a key. Lisa and I talk about this in my podcast when we talk about foster care. When you're involved with the system, you see the flaws in the system. And so there's a telltale trick when it's almost time to start your business. And you could do a gut check on this. Are you the best employee? Are you the one that shows up that they can count on? But also at the same time, are there some questions that you have in the business? Some processes, some ways that you think the business could run a little bit better? And the management really doesn't want to hear it. Are you working far beyond your capacity? You don't have a problem with the hours. You actually kind of live to change things and move the needle in the business. Most of you that are the most prepared to be entrepreneurs are the least likely to believe you can be. You're the amazing workers already. So that stat, 125 times more likely to succeed, it's in a business you know. So if you're thinking right now that you want to be in a certain industry, and I think this is a good rule of thumb for life, go check it out. Do you know the amount of doctors that quit after years and years in medical school? If they would have spent a little bit more time interning, they might have found out way in advance that wasn't the way that they wanted to go. Experiment, immerse, volunteer. This is a good way to find out what industry you want to be in. Once you pinpoint that industry, then get a job in it. It doesn't even matter what it is. Do your best to work up a little bit. Start seeing problems or opportunities. We're going to get to a section on pivots at some point, but pivots can be some of the most impactful ways to build a successful company. Netflix is one of my favorite pivots. So chances are you're in a business and you're seeing some opportunity. The fact that you've worked in that business gives you a tremendous advantage. Not only that, but when you're talking about maybe trying to raise investment, which you're bootstrappers, most of you won't, but even if you are, it helps to have been in that industry. They want to see somebody with a successful road in understanding that industry, and there's a reason for it. So even if you're not fundraising, know that the data is pointing in your direction. So since you're starting this practice long in advance, I suggest you scout it out. You might get in that industry, let's say the restaurant industry, and you're like, I want nothing to do with this. But if you're in the restaurant industry and you love it, you're much more likely to succeed if you've got a background in it, if you understand food costs, if you understand labor, if you understand the complexities and the problems with the restaurant industry, because it's wrought with failure. And you'll understand all this if you immerse into it. You can do this stuff for free, folks, and it will allow you to be exponentially more successful and start out the gate. So we're still working on the pre-work chapters. We'll eventually get to the business startup chapters, and then we'll get to running the business. Stuff like small business accounting, small business marketing, how to do the startup, how to formulate your first business plan, or the easier version I've created called a plan for business, partnerships, everything. We're going to get there slowly but surely. A lot of you know I bolster most of the content I make in the training videos. So there's a great chance that anytime I make a training video, I'm looking for a guest to secure that message that I have for you. Folks, this is all about you. We need more kind-hearted badasses in the world and more underdog success stories. Feel free to give me feedback on the next video, but remember, we're still in the pre-work chapters. Till next week.